Nashville, Tennessee on a Friday night. We are rocking and rolling, and we are ready for round number 3 of this All-American ARCA Series season as we come into Nashville, Tennessee, virtually on iRacing. And tonight, 200 miles around this 1.33 mile SuperSpeedway, if you will. It's Nashville SuperSpeedway. It is the home of race number 3 of this All-American ARCA Series Championship. 85 degrees, 52% humidity, cloudy skies, 5-mile-an-hour winds. It should be a pretty nice day for some racing coming up here in just moments here at Nashville SuperSpeedway. The Tennessee 200 here tonight. Track temp around 103 right now, and we'll be watching that as I'm sure that's going to slowly start to come down here into the late afternoon hours as we welcome you in on this Friday night. I am the captain, Chris Scala. We appreciate you joining us here on Twitch. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook or Twitter even watching us, we welcome you in, especially during the Daytona delay that's happening right now. There's a spoiler. You're not missing anything. I promise you on that. With that said, we got some great racing ahead of you tonight. Let's start with the point standings after 2 races. And you're going to notice a pretty familiar name up front right now, and that being the number 11 car, the points leader after this, or after 2 races. Mr. Weeks there, who has 99 points. That's off of 2 top 5s, a first and a second so far in 2 starts. He came very close to stealing a second win last week, Matthew Weeks was, and he is on a pretty good tear right now. Staff there in second. Staff is actually not here this evening, so he'll be falling a little bit in the standings. Brad Delph there is third. Zach Rogers up 11 spots to 4th. Remember, that is with a sub after the first week, and with the sub, you can only make half the points. So Zach, after a pretty solid finish there, sits 4th in points, and right now, he has pretty much won everything but the Tennessee lottery so far here this evening. So we'll have to see if he's going to be the dominant one to watch tonight here, as he's back 39 points. And then, of course, Kyle Hall is 5th in points. So that is the way we shape all the way down to 10th place. Casey Carrington, they're 48 points back. But so far, 2 great races. We started, of course, at the Daytona International Speedway for the season opener, and Matthew Weeks going to Victory Lane in that one. And then last week it was the Chicagoland Speedway, where it was the Cash James show there in the ARCA car. He won the pole, but led to most laps, and unfortunately fell off there towards the end. And it ended up being Daniel Martinez going to Victory Lane in his first career start, first career win. And, you know, for now, might be his only start of the season. So, in that race, both races have gone to overtime. So, will we see 3 races go to overtime? Tonight could be a good chance. We had 11 cautions last season in this race. So, we're going to see some entertainment tonight in this 150-lapper. We're going to see some wrecks more than likely. We're going to see some excitement, good racing side by side. And who knows what else we could see. Of course, Nashville, last time it was on the schedule was actually not during the during the season 3. It was actually the fairgrounds that was on the on the schedule for season number 3. It was season 2, which was 225 miles at the time. That was when this race ran back in October of last year, and that race was actually won by John Eckert. So John not here, I believe, so we'll likely have a second winner here at this track as the cars begin to grid. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. As I said earlier, it has been the Zach Rogers show so far. He's been fastest in practice, won the pole, fastest in final practice, and now here comes the race. The Mountain Man Motorsports number 4 going to start on the pole. Brian Lorenzo, good qualifying effort for him. David Tooker, Trey Holmes, he'll take row number 2. Parker Collins, he'll start there in row number 3 alongside Matthew Weeks, the points leader. Finley Fitzsimmons inside row number 4 alongside Jacob Feskinen. Tyler Burden and Mike Lemieux in row 5. Hopefully Mike's got his issues fixed. Apparently had a close lightning strike recently, and it's kind of caused some issues with his equipment and with his computer and internet and stuff. So hopefully he's got that all going. Casey Carrington will start there in the 11th position next to Robert Hall Jr., the Canadian driver coming off a great finish last week. Josh Dillon, James Silver still take row 7. Row 8, Brad Delph in Alex Carr. Greg Carr and Cody Ricketts will take row number 9. Row 10, Gareth McAllister, the Australian. There you go. I did it for you, buddy. I got your name right. Alongside Mike Husby. Ron White, Mike Schaefer will stay start in row number 11. Row 12, Alex Penn, Kyle Hall. Good to see him here. I think he's going to Daytona as soon as this race ends. Zach Nurnberger and Stephen Thompson, they'll take row number 10 as the cars roll out onto the grid, I believe. For some reason the camera's not changing over there. But you can see the cars rolling out according to the thing. We'll fix that here in a second. Row number 9, Cash James and Justin Ray. That's actually row 14 right there. Row number 15, Austin Bloom, Devin Scroggins. Row 16, Craig Martin, Garrett Austin. Larry Knoll, William Martin. Row 17, row 18, Daniel Haff and Nick Terrell. And Tyler Whittemore in row 17 as the cars are out on track for their one pace lap. Make that 2 pace laps, I guess they're going to get here. For some reason my screen wasn't showing it on my end, so it must have froze up there. My apologies for that. We got that fixed. We're good to go. And I was going to talk to Casey Carrington. He is going to be our in-race reporter, but unfortunately, timing-wise, I didn't time it right. We'll talk to him if we get a caution here early in the race, if he's not involved in it. So we shall go from there. Again, 200 miles, 150 laps on this 1.33 mile oval. Obviously, it's just a little shy of a super speedway, if you will, but I guess compared to the actual fairground speedway, it's a super speedway when you look at it like that. But we're about to go racing here with 37 cars tonight. Nobody went home, which is definitely good news there. Nobody had their feelings hurt tonight, but it will be Zach Rogers and Brian Lorenzo bringing them to the green flag here at the virtual Nashville Super Speedway. As the pace car will hang a left here. Week number 3, Friday night ARCA racing here on the Captain Esports Network. And happy college football weekend, by the way, too, as it kicks off tomorrow at noon. Here we go, green flag for Nashville. A little checkup back there towards the back. You're going to see a little bit of single file here, or a little bit of inside line racing, but I think eventually you will see the second groove come to work as you see David Tooker already attacking here on the 4. Zach Rogers down here into turn 3 and 4. You see the 77 of Brian Lorenzo. Parker Collins also there in 4th. Finley Fitzsimmons, your top 5. And off 4, it will be the 4 leading lap 1. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online. They're also on Facebook and also in the iRacing forums. But check them out at TrackCams22.com. Closest thing to real-life cameras you will see in iRacing. We look at our first battle here, the 05. Robert Hill Jr. picking up where he left off last week. Josh Dillon there on the outside. With the 14 there behind him also of Brad Delph. Long straightaways here, very tight corners, banking at about 12 degrees. And obviously when you see that, you're going to have a lot of braking, a lot of handling into play here. I think you're going to see some good side-by-side racing here, especially as we work closer and closer towards the evening hours. Got that battle going on here. Here's another one with Ron White and Greg Carr back here. Kyle Hall coming through. A little 3 wide. There's Cash James, the pole sitter from last week. Not qualifying so well tonight. Back here in 24th, inside to 16. These guys are 2 and 3 wide everywhere here. sorts it out for now. The really easy thing to do at this track is slide up at the entrance of these corners, especially when you have a bad angle. You look at Cash James. Let's jump on board with him going down here into turn 3. So Cash is on the bottom here, and he's got a obviously bad angle going to turn 1. And when you're going in at a pretty heavy speed, you get on the brakes, the car doesn't necessarily want to turn. So you got to get down on the bines and hope that the car doesn't slide up the track. See the 25 kind of slide up a little bit? You got to be very careful here, because if there's a car up there, guess what? He's going to the wall, and you're going to the back with Neo L for the first penalty. Kyle Hall here in the 87. And Zach Rogers, 0.6 of a second lead over David Tooker right now. With the 85% fuel in these cars, pit window about 60 or so laps. So obviously do the math there, 60 and 60 is 120. But one thing I heard drivers talking about pre-race was tire wear being a factor here, burning up that right front tire. Well, hopefully a lot of people have dialed in maybe rear brake into the car to let the car maybe drive more on the rear than it is the front, which will help save the right front tire and keep it from blowing out potentially at the end of the run. Great fighting right here with Alex Carr, Mike Lemieux, Mike Husby, Kyle Hall, all these guys in this battle. This is all the 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th place and back through the field here. You see the sun starting to come out, so as that happens, a concrete track is the one kind of track that on a hot day or on a day where the sun comes out like this, in and out, and of course when you're in the 80s, concrete has expansion joints in it. You ever go over a bridge that's concrete and you always feel that boom, 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 boom as you're driving on it, the bumps, those are all concrete joints. And of course, the hotter they are, they expand. So think about it. Because of that, these cars are not really on a smooth surface. Up here, Robert Hill under attack with Jacob Feskin and James Silvers here is lookout. Hill gets a little loose up there on the top side. Sends it in there a little bit. You saw the 89, maybe a net coat scrape. It did scratch up his right side a little bit. Kurt didn't help the Pontiac, and of course we do have plenty of different mates in this series. I broke it out last week as I was looking at the numbers and stuff for the way we sit. In the standings right now, manufacturer points. Looks like this. We have Toyota leading the points right now over... tied with Ford right now with 11 points. Dodge is in the field with 9. Chevrolet has 9. Pontiac has 8. And yes, a Porsche. There's a Porsche car that I've still not found, by the way, that has all of 2 points. 1 point apiece after the first 2 races of the season. Of course, with these cars, you can pretty much paint. You can paint any kind of model on these cars. I mean, you look at the 89, that's a Dodge. You can see the Chevy on the 05. I'm enticed to see what the nose of a Porsche would look like on here. I'm guessing the 911 would be the model. As the 05 clips the apron. See if slide up the track there, opens the door for Silver. See if that 17 tries to cut it down to the apron here. Here, Parker Collins under attack. That's a Dodge in the 11. Matthew Weeks trying to make a pass on the 45. The 88 of Holmes there behind him. This is the battle for the 5th position. Shout out to the viewers watching tonight here on the Captain Esports Network. Hopefully you've had a great week as we get ready for the weekend. The last weekend of August, the weekend before we get into September and into what's going to be the beginning of fall with Labor Day weekend and stuff getting here. Most places, pools are going to close after like opening a week ago, it seems like. There's the Pontiac, Kyle Hall there. The old Grand Prix. Clean and green so far, 16 laps in. Everybody minding their P's and Q's out here. Doing a great job. Let's just kind of scroll our way through, seeing all the cars out here on track. There's your leader, the Jim Beam number 4 Chevrolet. Zach Rogers, he has been the guy that has absolutely been dominant so far in this weekend. He's led all 17 laps, led practice, led qualifying. And he's already coming up on a lap car. It's going to be Justin Ray in the 38 car. Been hearing he's having some connection issues potentially in that car, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Don't want to see some issues there as we scroll all the way back to the middle part of the field there. That is Jacob Feskin and James Silvers in a battle for the 12th and 11th positions here. You see these cars kind of getting a little free off the corner. Robert Hill trying to find some clean air himself as they work their way to turn 1. The 888 up there. Top side there, McAllister, he's got Husby there behind him. We arrive at Alex's car there. This is the 1 car. Might be the thinnest steering wheel I've ever seen. Just going to point that out. I say some of these drivers might actually be shocked that we've gone 20 laps here so far without any issues really on track. I say that as 1 car hits the wall there. Everybody's got to check up. McAllister there. Silvers looks like maybe he got the wall. And up front, the lead is starting to shrink up a little bit. David Tooker's got it down to 0.6 of a second. As we continue to stay right here with this gaggle of cars, this 25, the 27, the 1, the 12. So one thing when you get 37 cars on a track that's all of 1.33 miles long, not going to be a lot of room to really stretch out. Like I said, the straightaways, you kind of feel like you're on a speedway, and then you come to the corners, and you feel like you're on a short track. All going all the way to the top. I have not seen somebody adventure that high. obviously the closest battle on the track is right here. As I talked about, we go back to that Season 2 race of the All-American ARCA Series. That happened back in October of last year, just about a year ago, 10 months ago. And in that race, just kind of giving a recap, we had actually, 11 cautions for 42 laps. We had 4 lead changers and 4 leaders. Obviously, John Eckert led the most laps in that race. Christopher Heller, who was in that event, led 45. Zach Rogers, who finished second, is already six times led more laps than in the race 2 seasons ago. He's led 24. He only led 4 in that race. If I get the math right, we'll be okay. And then Andrew McGonigal led 5 laps in that race. That saw Eckert win the race over Rogers, DJ Weeks, Brad Delph, and Christopher Heller was your top 5 in that event. And look at that, both drivers who are in this race again from that race 2 seasons ago sitting in the top 10. So, as they say, you get yourself a good finish on a track like this, the momentum can carry, and you can see yourself looking pretty good there, just like that Aris number 14 car. Trey Holmes here, battling with Tyler Burton in that 36 car. As Corey Dar watching tonight, appreciate you, sir. Fan of Two Birdie Racing. I'm guessing that's a golf terminology, maybe name. And then he says, "Let's go Waffle House." That's sounds right. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on the battle up front. It is getting closer. 0.2 of a second between Rogers and Tooker. And for those wondering, no, these guys have not settled it out yet. And here comes Cash James into the picture now. Here's the 48 of Austin Bloom, who had a little bit of a rough run last week at Chicagoland. A little loose there. Is that the 31 up top? There's your battle right there as they come up on Larry Nolan, the 29 car. Oh, that's tricky. I was talking about that bad angle into a corner. Larry just trying to get out of the way of the leaders. Unfortunately, about slid up into the 4 car. As 30 laps in, it is Rogers, Tooker, Lorenzo, Fitzsimmons, and Weeks. Still your top 5. Of course, Parker Collins, Tyler Burton, Trey Hall, Brad Delph, Casey Carrington. Your top 5. And how about this guy? Gareth McAllister trying to work his way up here into the top 10, working that top side. Of course, as I say some praise about him, he falls back 3 spots. There's a whole lot of restaurants and drinking going on right in this picture right here. We got Outback, we got Waffle House, we got White Castle, we've got Busch Beer and Canadian Dry Ginger Ale. All in one picture here. Good move by the 27, thought better of it there. He almost went 3 wide with the 1, got out of the gas and got back in line. Very easy move to do there is take that 3 wide and have that middle line car just check down into you. He caused an accident at Carrington. 9th place is passing by Brad Delph. And, of course, Casey, if we ever do get... I'm starting to wonder if this is kind of rigged. But we were going to talk to him as our in-race reporter, and we still will when the caution comes out, if it comes out. But right now, we're caution-free after 33 laps. And you see the Nashville native running his Predators number 9 in the 9th position. Alex Carr, Ron White here, outside lane. Everybody's continuing to kind of pace themselves here. You see Josh Dillon, he's underneath the 888 car. And look at this, 3 wide, front straightaway. That 20 car almost dove it to the apron to make a move. Oh, look out, 05 slides up. That's going to open 3 wide here, potentially down the back. Racing everywhere around here. And, oh, there's the 16 up in the wall. Ricketts. Looks like didn't get much damage into it. And then he and the 20 almost get together. As Zach Rogers leads by 0.2 over David Tooker. There's the battle. As David has gotten closer and closer. Can he make the move now? I'm hearing some pit stops being called here, so we're going to see some short pitting, I think, going on, which is interesting because when Casey sent me the notes, it said about 60 laps potentially on fuel. I wonder if this is a tire call. Or did he send me the wrong notes and give me the wrong fuel math? Wouldn't surprise me. Silver's on pit road. Larry Knowles on pit road, so we do have some cars coming to pit road here. Keep track here, see when the leaders maybe come in. I'm assuming if your car is handling pretty well, you're not going to be coming in. There's Mike Lemieux, the Apex Graphics number 40, as he continues to work his way up. Started back, or actually I should say starting to try to work his way forward. He's fallen back from the 10th position. So we'll have to see what the strategy does for those cars who decided to pit. I'm sure they're going to be much faster, but was the risk worth the reward? We're going to find out here in the next little bit here. As we're still at least 10 to 15 laps away from the leaders coming to pit road. Let's go back to this battle at the front. You need to see the left front of Tooker just getting some more clean air to it. And that Toyota car is getting to run that way, basically. If you get right directly behind you, that car in front of you, you're not going to get much clean air. But if you can get a little piece of your nose out and get some downforce added. I never thought I'd ever see the apron get used at this track. Oh, and caution is out. We got trouble. Looking for it, and oh wow, a big wreck on the back straightaway. Cody Ricketts involved. The 24 Stephen Thompson, the 20 of Mike Schaefer, and that Pony Express has got a little damage on the nose. And the first caution is out here at lap 42, so a good run, but As I mentioned, the risk and reward of those pitting. Guess who gets caught a lap down now? Those cars involved, or those cars that went on pit road because of this wreck. Now, unfortunately, 1 or 2 laps down. Let's go back and see the replay here. 41 a lap. Oh, James Silver's almost stuck it in there 3 wide. Thinks better of it, bails out. Oh, 17 and 20 come together. And the 16 involved. He gets pile driven by the 24. I think the Doritos car went in there and got some contact. The 81 of Nick Terrell, once again involved in an accident. So his luck continues to be terrible. Rough situation there. Nice miss there by that orange car. Let me see if I can find who that orange car is. How about Craig Martin? Let's see this. There's the wreck. All right, I'm coming through. And let's, got cars going to pit road here, so let's go and watch them come to pit road. Auto leaders coming in, 3 sets of tires, so I'm assuming right here about the just shy of the 1/3 mark here. Go ahead and use a set of tires at this point. Yep, 4 tires and fuel for at least the top 5 here on pit road. And going to be the 4 winning a race off pit road. 77 with a good stop. And Robert Hill looks like stayed out of the to either lead a lap or something. All right, so let's we get an opportunity here. I don't think we're to the green quite yet. It's our chance to finally talk to the in-race reporter that we promised we would talk to, and we decided to wait until lap number 45 to talk to him for the first time as we bring Casey in here. Casey, we're looking at you inside the car. I believe you're coming to 1 to go this time, so we'll make it short and sweet. So, fact or fiction here? Nashville hot is the best type of flavoring you can do with chicken.
No. Vastly overrated. I'm sorry. I know I'll probably have beer cans in front of me as we get on the front stretch, but I'm not a big fan, to be honest.
What is the thing about Nashville hot? Because obviously it's a big like KFC type of thing, but is it like a specific flavor, like buffalo wings, for instance?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just I don't know. I guess it's like Memphis barbecue kind of thing. I honestly don't know. I think it's more of a tourist thing, to be honest.
Interesting. Well, how's the car? Because you took 9th there right before that caution.
Yeah, it's man, I'm burning the right front off. I got to figure something else out here. It's I thought I was gonna be really good in the long run. I backed it down there at the start and lost a lot of time, and I never really made it up. So we'll see here. Hopefully, I can start moving forward.
All right, my man. Well, good luck here. We'll talk in a little bit, but all right, not a fan of Nashville hot. I like it. Good luck in that car.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely. Casey Carrington going to restart here as we'll move him down to his room, which you in the same room as Kyle, right?
I was in my own channel. You just put me in the race channel.
There we go. Moving to the race channel. That's called I don't remember what channel he was in. All right, should be Why is my live not working? All right, let's... technical issues. Give me a second here and I'll get that fixed. They probably have gotten a green flag. I thought I was good, and I'm like, why is the replay still up there? I thought I was live. And we are live as the green flag comes right out. Good timing, Scala. I should be a producer. Oh, wait, I am. Fitzsimmons leads, or running second, I should say. Tucker there in third as he tries to get to the inside of 06 car. Oh, and around goes the 77. A pole sitter goes spinning inside. No caution as he spins down there off turn 2. Unfortunate break for Lorenzo. And yes, I do have a list of questions I'm going to put Casey on the spot on. That was one of them. Because, you know, it's like you always get that time of the year where, like KFC and others, are like, oh, it's the Nashville Hot. It's like, what's the deal about Nashville Hot? I know nothing about it. I guess it's supposed to be some kind of spice or something to it. Carrington up to the 5th position now. Tyler Burden there behind him as we watch this side-by-side at 25 and 12 for the 11th position. Let's see what happened to our pole sitter. He just lost off turn 2. Nice. Oh, Matthew Weeks, what a nice save. Shades of that 2004 finish that we'll be talking about next time with Casey. His first ever race he went to had a very dramatic finish to it at this track. Now, one thing about Casey, he is from the Nashville area. That's why we picked him as an iRacing, or as the in-race reporter this week. We'd have a little fun with that. You know, what's really interesting is when you get a text from your wife saying that you and your daughter are watching. And, you know, she don't get the chance to watch often. So, hi, Lucy. Apparently, she keeps saying, that's Dad. That's Dad. That's Dad. Yep. That's me. As Rogers leads it by 4/10. She's 3, by the way. Over Finley Fitzsimmons. Driver from Great Britain over there in the Twitch Verizon Mobile. I'm not sure of his Twitch channel, but I'm sure his viewers are enjoying that shot right now, running in P2, right there with David Tucker, who seemed to struggle a little bit on the early run and picked it up there late in the run. There's Parker Collins in the 4th position, the Rowdy Energy colors, and then, of course, the 9 of Carrington, who's got the 36 of Tyler Burden right there on his rear. We pass the 1/3 mark in this race. And these two, I think, have been going at it since the restart. The 12 of Josh Dillon and great car. Cash James has worked his way up there. 14 position for him, up to 13th. And, of course, Matthew Weeks there behind him. And almost some 3 wide there. Team Birdie Racing number 25. Oh, fighting it. A little looseness coming out of the car. Weeks going to take advantage of a couple of cars here as the 12 tried to get outside of the 25, but then you see the 11 jump underneath the 93 for position. almost making contact back there with the Austin Bloom car. He's going to lose a spot because of it. Kyle Hall coming through. Appreciate the 17 viewers watching us tonight. If you're new to the channel, as always, hit that subscribe button. And if you've actually come back because I'm not that boring, I appreciate it. Oh, into the wall. Bloom got it good. Kyle Hall might have actually tagged it a little bit too. Good thing about these cars, they are very tough. That new damage model, these cars very tough to beat up, but if you hit that wall good enough, the old meatball will pop up on you, and you do not want one of them. Especially when you're in a Klondike car. A meatball Klondike? No, not good. Meatball Waffle House car? Nope, not good. Unless you're in a pasta car, which even then I don't even know if you want necessarily meatball in iRacing. A reminder, next week, this series will be off like every other series that I broadcast for. Pretty much from Friday through Monday next week, we'll be off racing as we enjoy Labor Day with families and friends. We'll return here in 2 weeks. In the All-American ARCA series. And that'll be at the Michigan, or at the vote, oh, the driver vote. That's the next race. And I think Twin Ring Motegi is winning that vote. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember the last time I heard them talking about it. But the vote is very interesting, how they've got that all set up. But basically, the drivers got to vote between 3 tracks. I believe it was New Smyrna, Twin Ring Motegi, and there was one other track that I cannot remember. Off the top of my head, if somebody's in this league and is not racing, feel free to tell me. Up front, Roger. Oh, into the wall. Who was that? The 24? I was going to say, Rogers has not gotten away from Fitzsimmons, but look at Tooker also starting to come up here on this long run. It was a road course, I believe. For the life of me, I can't remember what the road course was. I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while now. Anyways, Trey Holmes, Greg Carr, Matthew Weeks all here. This is 5 cars under a blanket from 10th back to 15th. So, like I said, battles everywhere. I'm trying to show you all the passes I can show you. All the good racing is Tooker inside of Fitzsimmons. Going to make the pass, so David definitely showing he might have the best long run car, which could be scary for this field, because so far we've only had the one caution. We've had long runs. Tyler Whittemore having issues. He just towed to pit road, it looks like. Not sure what happened to the 23 car, but he is off track. That actually happened back on lap 51 for him. It was lap 63 of the race. We got that going on. Back here, the ginger ale car making moves as Husby inside of Delph. A battle of 4-letter first names and 5-letter last names. So 66 laps complete. These guys came to pit road. Oh, you know what? With me resetting the timing and scoring, I don't actually have the last lap they pitted, so that's unfortunate, but I might be able to still pull it up this way. Nope, that's not accurate either. So yeah, unfortunately, when you have those little glitches, telemetry, that kind of stuff, it kind of resets itself. So unfortunately, I don't know when the last time they pitted. It was at the caution, which was right around lap number 50-ish or so of this race. Seven tenths between the leaders right now. 2 seconds, I should say, back to Parker Collins, Tyler Burden, who's gone by Casey Carrington for 5th. Matthew Weeks looking to continue his streak of top 2 finishes as he's kicked off the season. Matthew started up in 6th, has fallen back to 12th, and is just kind of let this race kind of fall to him a little bit. So Weeks riding back in the 12th position right now. Battle for second is back on as Fitzsimmons. Not sure if he has maybe saved his tires just a little bit, but that 06 car is starting to come back to life and put some pressure on the 83 for second as we're just 5 laps from the halfway point. Fitzsimmons fighting for that position right now. Outside of that, it's pretty much that, and we got battles for 11th through 17th that we showed you just a minute ago. As that's kind of calmed down, let's see this. Everybody here kind of single file right now. Alex Penn back here. Gareth McAllister, who was running top 11 a little bit ago. Garrett Austin also there. Let's check out this. Ron White inside of Kyle Hall for the 15th, 16th position this is. So move the 27 up. As we're coming across the halfway point right now, we're going to step away, take a quick break. We'll come back, and we will get you into the second half of this All-American ARCA Series race number 3. This is a Tennessee 200 from the virtual Nashville SuperSpeedway on iRacing on the Captain Esports Network.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
All right, back we are at Nashville SuperSpeedway, virtually on iRacing. Gave me an opportunity to go figure out why it felt like the air conditioning was not on. I looked over and I had the fan part on instead of the actual air. So I'm like, man, it's blowing out warm or whatever. Got that fixed. At 76 laps in, we have passed the halfway point. Hopefully air conditioning's working. Still a little warm in places. Obviously, there's some places got that nice fall weather. Actually, had that a little bit. I was delivering in a town called Clayton, which is on the farthest north end of Georgia. And I kid you not, it's like in the North Georgia mountains and stuff, but it never got above 75 on Wednesday. I don't think I broke a sweat that whole entire day. As the 48 off the pace a little bit there, got passed by the 31, and also the 40 going to go by of Nürburgring and Lemieux making the pass on Austin Bloom, who seems to be battling a pretty tight race car here in this run. And look at the 40 getting pretty good runs here. Lemieux inside of Nürburgring. Every time I say the name Nürburgring, I cannot help but think of the Naked Gun movies. O.J. Simpson. Oh, we got two cars battling each other. Greg versus Alex. And he also got the 11 in that battle, too. Those guys running nose to tail. You got the 14 also. Brad Delph is here, so like I said, it's like not really anywhere on track, really, I could find a pretty good battle here everywhere. Cash James battling Josh Dillon here. Battle two rookies for 14th. So as these guys are all battling, unfortunately, back in the 10th all the way down to 15th or so in this area. Seems like where all the action has been throughout the night. With 75 laps to go. Appreciate all those chatting it up tonight. Hopefully enjoying your Friday night before we get into the weekend. I haven't looked at Twitter recently. I know the Xfinity race was in a rain delay. It's what happens when you're in the summer at Daytona. Never know when that's going to happen. No pressure on me, because I've been told that my 3-year-old daughter's watching this race. It's the first time I think she's ever watched me broadcast. It's like, I'm like, hi Lucy, by the way. Get ready for bed. She's at that age where she's like understanding everything that's going on, so it's like, don't mess up. Yeah, I have noticed that high group. They've been working on it, especially the middle part. I know a couple cars have tried to go up about 3 lanes or so, and it's really not been there. But I think that could pay off, especially on these older tires later on. There's the 2 cars working with each other now. We got this fight going on here. This is back at the, as I mentioned, 11th through 15th, really some battles here. Got Garrett Austin, Gareth McAllister back here. This is, unfortunately for them, 24th and 25th here. So McAllister really has fallen off. Not sure if he's got damage to the 88 car or what the deal is there. But there's Garrett Austin in the 34 car. making a pass back at the 24th position. I mentioned McAllister earlier was up to 11th. You wonder, did maybe the 888 not take tires on that pit stop? Maybe save it a set for later in this race. That could easily be a possibility here. So have to keep track of that potentially with the 3 sets that you have. So I just got a text that now my daughter has fallen asleep. So good to know that I put her to sleep in her first broadcast. I have found ways to give her take naps now. This works perfectly. All right. Yeah, so we continue on. It could be a TBR fan chat. I mean, I don't know what it is. I guess maybe, I don't know, if people just are enjoying. I think it's a majority of people are racing while they're trying to watch. So they obviously can't chat. But, yeah, people don't seem to chat too much, even though I don't mind it. I mean, I love answering questions or talking to people and having a good old time. As Alex gets past Greg for position, Josh Dillon going by. So, like I said, another long, 30, 40 lap green flag run here. If we can get another, I would say 5 or 6 laps, the window's open, we could see some cars trying to chance it and come to pit road again for that final stop of the race. Casey Carrington under attack as the 6 continues to slowly work his way through the field. As Husby, almost gets a little tight there, had to get out of it, and Carrington carries that top side. Carrington carries the top side. Say that 3 times fast. And there, Casey lets him go by for position. Tries to cross him back over here. Very easy to do at this track because you're able to get out of the gas early and roll back to the throttle. He's going to yield that spot away, so move Husby up to the 7th position as it continues to be the Zach Rogers show. 0.6 of a second over David Tooker, and the battle for 3rd is now on. 3 cars under a blanket. That rowdy number 45 of Parker Collins. .2 seconds back of Fitzsimmons. Burden there behind him. Hey, I found the Porsche. It's the 06. Right there in front of us. The Porsche 911 car. See, I told them last week, it's like, I don't want anybody to tell me. I want to find it. And I figured out who it is. Look at that. Now, the only thing that's inaccurate about that car is it's not loud as hell. .45 looking everywhere to get around. The 06 into turn 1. He's going to have a run here. Might even have a pick. The 66 got caught topside there. Can Fitzsimmons clear and get to the inside of the lap car? Get the first part done. And there he goes. Seems like the 45 is getting good runs. The 06 is being a little defensive. Trying to keep that run knocked down just a little bit. As, Fitz almost got the wall. That's going to really hurt him here, I think. Goes all the way to the apron to kind of block the run. Average lap time wise, I don't really have that answer, but I can tell you that his last lap was a 32:09, 32:08 for Tooker. And it looks like the fastest lap I'm seeing is right there with those guys up front. So, and of course, these three, as you finally see Collins get to the inside. There, a 20 for Rogers and 08 for Tooker. And of course, these three here are going to be a little slower because of the passing. Oh, Fitzsimmons gets into the back of the 36. And how you doing? Great save there. Almost lifted his tires off the ground. All right, so starting to hear some guys calling their pit stops again here. So as here, you see Ritter going a lap down, or Ricketts, I should say, not Ritter, sorry, to the 4. Took her right there with him. And turn 4, caution out, Mike Lemieux has gone around. Man, that car is destroyed. And something tells me this has to do with the entrance of pit road. Oh, right. Oh, wow. Bam. And add the pole sitter to it. 77 gets involved, but Kyle Hall went to come to pit road, and the 40 was there on his inside, and basically almost a rendition of Dale Jr. at Auto Club back 2003-ish or so with Kevin Harvick. And Hall checks up to go to pit road, and whammo! Unfortunate deal is here come the leaders to pit road. This is right inside the window here, so should be, unless we get another yellow, the final pit stops for these guys. Race off pit road, gonna be a close one. I think Parker Collins might have got it. He sure did. What a stop by the 45 team. 14.5 on the pit stop. The difference basically is the 2 seconds of pit road time here. So let's go back. I want to watch the entrance to pit road here, and I'm going to see if I can find where the difference is here. I mean, look at this. This is a good second separation between first and third entering pit road. I wonder if Rogers went too conservative in his pit stall. Maybe. You can see the 45 kind of edging up. Maybe not fast on pit road. You know what? I wonder if that just faster speed down pit road got Parker Collins the lead here. Because it really, I mean, pit time wise, it was about 2/10, but right there, it could have been leaving pit road too. Let's watch the launch here. Oh, you know what? Right there. 45 got a good launch off of his pit stall. The 4 car spun the tires pretty well there and didn't get the launch. That's the separation here. So Parker Collins leading this race now by that pit stop. You see the 48, Austin Bloom looks like he's going to take the wave around here, and he'll go back to the lead lap. right, so we're going to go back to green here. As we are coming to the 2/3 mark of this race, lap 100 of this 150 lap race. And for the first time, Zach Rogers will not be the control car as we come to the green flag. Fitzsimmons hanging on there, top 5, along with Tooker and Burden. How about Feskinen? He has worked his way up to 6th after starting in 8th. You have Casey Carrington there in 7th. How about Husby, as we mentioned, up 12 to 7th? Matthew Weeks, Trey Holmes, and Ron White, those guys right there on the edge of the top 10. Just trying to see who the biggest mover is of the race. It looks like it's a tie between Mike Husby and Cass James in 15th, but an opportunity for me to shut up here. I've been talking too much tonight, right? I'm just saying. All right, we're going to go and turn it up here on the Captain Esports Network. Well, trouble turn 4. Looks like on the front straightaway, 2 cars in the wall. They hit right there at the front straightaway. Somebody else getting involved at the start-finish line. No caution. Trying to see who it is. It doesn't even have it on my register. All right, we'll keep going. As you see the pass for the lead, Zach Rogers runs his fastest lap of the race and then shoots topside to go around Collins for the lead as Tooker goes by for second. I've been looking at my timing and scoring. William Martin looks like caught a piece of that wreck. So let's go back and see if we can find. He's off the pace at that moment. What happened to the 58? Get off the pace still there. Unfortunately, I'm playing roulette here. We might have something. There's Ricketts getting loose. Off turn 4. Oh, and he gets hooked. The 48. And then 29 is going to get in there. No caution. Nobody really got, I mean, somebody was sideways, but not really spun out. And that usually does not bring the caution out unless you have admin yellows, which a lot of series you will see in iRacing does not have, because it can easily become a he said, she said type of game. So the champ looking pretty good here. Less than 50 laps to go in this race, making his second start of the season. Of course, he had a sub fill in at Daytona that ended up with a really good finish. So he's had 3 good weeks in that number 4 car. It just shows anybody you put in that car is going to be pretty good. Might have to throw my own resume at that 4 car next time he misses a race. Look at this, Tooker putting pressure on the 4. As Brian Lorenzo makes a unscheduled pit stop, I believe this is. Playing all types of defense right now with this 83. Now I know, like, talking adult beverages here, that Jägermeister and Red Bull or whatever makes a Jaeger bomb. Of course, you got Crown bombs and things like that. So if you mix Jim Beam with Monster, is that a Jim bomb? Just saying. Just a question. As they catch the 24 car. Or does it have to be Red Bull for it to be a bomb of some sort strength-wise? Look at that. I've come up with team names already for everybody. Watching Feskin in here at the 89. He's got the 88 in front of him with Trey Holmes. Carrington there behind him. This is right on the edge of the top 10 right now. Crazy here. All top 10 drivers are within 1 second of each other. There has been no real separation during this run. I think as this race goes, the draft and just the combo just creates great racing throughout. Great battling here, 36 laps to go. As the 88 goes backwards. Carrington gets by the 89, now going to try to work his way around the 88. Still watching the battle with Tooker and Rogers up front. That is still about a 10th separation. This battle here, side by side. As Holmes tries to fight that top side to hold off Carrington for position. And for the lead. Side by side as they pass by the Larry Knoll car, but the 4 and 83. Tooker finally getting his chance to Tooker the lead. I had no choice, folks. I had no choice. Collins only a second back right now. And he got him. Probably the best car, arguably, on the long run. David Tooker to the front with 33 laps to go. I'm not the one racing. I'm just calling the race. So took her to the front. I did not mean a pun on that one. Matthew Weeks trying to keep that top 2 streak going at 2 races. I think on any given night, a visit to a Waffle House, a Denny's, or an IHOP is perfectly legal for a long night. But 9 times out of 10, it's the Waffle House that is sitting right there waiting for you. I remember when I lived in Florida, in the Melbourne area, if it was a late night in that area, at the, like, club or whatever you want to call it, really wasn't a club, it was more of a saloon that played just different musics each night. Luckily, right there about, not in the same parking lot, all of 50 feet was the Waffle House. Oh, trouble. Robert Hill Jr. has gone off. Turn 1, I think this is. The 05 coming off a great finish. That's actually turn 3 and 4. Robert Hill Jr., who's struggling here tonight in Nashville. He's ready to quote Chris Stapleton. So long, Nashville, Tennessee. Give it a salute and walk away. Action's starting to pick up here. 29 laps to go. And all these cars right here within a couple seconds of each other. Just got our first really due to the race through chat. Oh, and caution is out. Cody Ricketts. Texas Longhorns car not having a good night in Tennessee. They don't play each other this year, do they? That could be interesting. Cody taking his car behind the wall. Hook'em Horns not so hooking him in Rocky Top. And this scares me because didn't the 48 and the 16... Oh, no, again! Oh, who was that? They come in there and gets a piece of it. So for the second time tonight, the Monster Energy car, the Austin one... Wait a minute, the irony there. The Austin car turns the Texas Longhorns car. Texas, based out of Longhorn, or out of Austin. Hello. And here we go, pit stops. Should be the final round, I would think. A lot of people maybe using tires here. Some might save them. While you guys do that, I'm going to retype my password and username in for my Restream chat. I went to ban that person, that little hack or whatever it is, and it told me to put my password in. Race off pit road, Casey Carrington. Oh, look out, the 9 car with some strategy. This is going to shape up to be a great time to talk to our in-race reporter, isn't it? All right, I'm back in chat. All right. Oh, they gone. I don't know what it is. It's like they show up on everybody's thing. It's like a bot or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's let's bring up Mr. Tommy Baldwin here, making the calls. And the 9 car up here in the lead with 27 laps to go. Casey, obviously, you're up front at your home track here. And obviously a little strategy play here. The question is, can you hold them off? Or is it one of those deals where you're saving that set of tires for a little later?
No, I mean, I don't think I can hold them off, but I couldn't hold them off on 4. So we're going to take a strategy gamble, like you said, and hope that things get chaotic here and there's a lot of yellow because, you know, it's one of those things I pitted in 10th. So if I can come out of this, you know, 9th or better, then it'll been a good call. It's just, I hope I didn't make a terrible decision here. At least I got the bonus point for leading the lap.
That's true. 2004, your first race here, obviously, was a interesting night. I couldn't help but think about some interesting Nashville SuperSpeedway races. There was the race, I want to say a couple years after that the monsoon opened up in the middle of the green flag run, and thankfully nobody wrecked at that point. But in 2004, it was your first career race, and why don't you describe to the people who don't remember that race, why, what was so big about it?
Well, it's not often that you, of course, this is back before green-white checkers, but at any rate, it's not often that a driver goes into turn 1 in 5th place and comes out of turn 2 in 1st. But yeah, that's what happened with Michael Waltrip there, coming off of 2. I think there was like 2 or 3 laps to go, and I think they might have been 3 wide for the lead. It was like Boyer, Kyle Busch, and I can't remember who was third, maybe McMurray. But yeah, they got together, and it was an interesting moment, definitely. That's, I think, one of the most underrated kind of crazy moments from that era of NASCAR.
It was, and if I remember correctly, was that the year Purvis got hurt at Nazareth and McMurray took over the car, I believe?
I think that was a couple years before, but I'm not certain. I mean, I had just gotten into NASCAR a few months before that, so that was probably maybe in the first 10 races that I watched, and that was in person. So.
And here you are with 25 laps to go in the lead. I guess the other question.
Run over.
Right, 2 laps to go. If you're in 5th, are you going to be hoping?
I'm hoping that's going to start happening here behind me for the next 25 laps or so, but we'll see.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck, and yeah, good luck there. You're in the lead.
Yeah, I'll need it. Thank you.
Casey Carrington trying some tire strategy here, and he's not the only one. He's got Dylan up there in the 2nd position. Parker Collins, David Tooker, Zach Rogers going to be your top 5. Yeah, those bots, right? As we come back to the green flag into the Geico restart zone, which is the zone that starts the race here. Carrington waits pretty late to jump on it. Here he goes. Gets a good restart. See how quick Tooker can disperse of the 12. See, Rogers got around him. The 45 got around him. 12 getting a little loose off the corner. Tooker pretty much going to push Rogers down to turn 3. Oh, and caution back out. Trouble. Big wreck here. The 05 to 34. The 17. Alex Penn also involved, it looks like. Then we have a Waffle House car in it. A smashed All-Star. Alex Penn on pit road. It's never good when your right front tire is sticking outside your hood. And I'm seeing at least 5 cars in this wreck. Let's see as we roll that beautiful bean footage. Oh boy, do we have restaurant? Oh no, the Busch car gets loose. Silvers gets loose. 25 gets tagged, pile driven into the wall. Add a chocolate milk into it. 23 just wants to join the battle, I guess, apparently over there. As caution comes out for the 3rd time. Looks like the 17 of James Silvers, unfortunately, just loses the back end, which, you know what, in that part of the track, for some reason, the 38 gets in there too. There's something about that part that the back end wants to come around when you get back to throttle. I don't know if it's just a transition, if it's the angle of the corner, but I've noticed in a couple of races I've run in officials and stuff here before that my back end wants to get kind of free in the middle of 3 and 4 there. Interesting there, but I did notice one car kind of worked its way through, so let's look at the replay here, and I want to say, I can find a number of them. You're going to see a purple car come working its way through there. Right to the right there, there's a car. It's not Garrett Austin. That's super clean car. Daniel Half. Watch this thing again. Let's watch for Half. Somebody wants L25 to hold the brakes. Nice miss, though. Man, that sounds actually really good right now. Some cheesy hash browns or something. Cheesy grits. Nobody's allowed to judge. That's a 25 car here. I can find them. One of those deals where it's like, you know what? And I've had this happen before, and I know people are going to be like, dude, you got to hold the brake. It just gets to the point sometimes where it's just like, yep, I'm wrecked. And you just let the car roll. I understand both sides. Now, if he would have been able to spin that thing back around, I'd have been really impressed. I'm going to show the replay one more time, and this reason is for something outside of the wreck. Have a view at this Twitch channel. Colossal dump. I'd be a little hesitant to go to that channel. All right, doubling up, 20 laps to go. Yes, some might say I find the most random things to talk about in the broadcast. Look, when you've done a certain career for a while, things kind of catch you in... You can't miss something, basically, when it has to do with that career. So in my case, I did broadcasting for 10 years. So I've learned from calling races here on YouTube and doing high school football games and that kind of thing, and even radio. I can hear almost anything and catch it. I can see something and realize it, and nobody else like, well, how'd you catch that? So when I see that kind of thing on the back end of a car, it's like not hard to miss. All right, coming back to the green with 19 laps to go. Still the no tires of Carrington leading this race. However, this time he's got 4 tires on his outside as Collins tries to pester him. Well, thank you. You're doing a great job watching. And I just got told, I heard through the earphones, apparently the Xfinity race is going to be starting in the next 30 minutes. So guess what? We're going to end this race right on time. Unless it just turns into a wrecking derby, because everybody get close there. Oh, leaning on each other, the one. Like they're playing ping pong. I think that was the 89. Business is picking up in Nashville. Oh, contact hard in the wall. The 14 to 93. The 27 involved, and oh boy, the Waffle House car is going to die. Fourth caution, that is. Oh, he stayed out of the wall. How about that? That thing was heading for the wall at a speed. I looked up and saw the 14 Brad Delph getting turned head first into the outside wall, right in that area where I talked about a second ago. Watch this. I see a car gets loose. I think it's the 89 of Feskinen. Once again, top side, somebody just gets loose. Bam, 14 hard in the wall. Cash James, the 27. And then the 25 there goes, man, I thought that was going to be like Ryan Preece at Kansas. That immediately comes to my head here. And somehow he keeps it off the inside wall. Watch this. Everybody wrecks. I'm good. I'm good. Uh-oh. Oh, that's why. He just clobbers. So now you could probably get Grand Slam sliders at Waffle House, thanks to White Castle. That's why he didn't hit that wall. I was ready. I mean, I'm looking up. I'm seeing a yellow car beeline to the wall. See, here's the only downfall to these cautions right now is Carrington is running out of time to really use tires here because they're getting all these runs. Yeah, right there, 30 or 89 gets loose, 14 hard into the wall. Let's see if we can get a different view of this here. Give me a second. Let's go to... Hey, the 888. Let's jump on board. Let's go on board Gareth McAllister, and let's go regular speed here, and then we'll go quarter speed in the corner here. So the accident's going to happen right in front of him. I think the 89 maybe got just a bad spot of air there at the left front. Nice job by Gareth to miss that thing. Hey, you see the lick over there with the 25 and the 27. How about this miss? Yo! Well done there. Hey, who is that? Trying to get a number on that car on the inside there. Is that Larry Knoll? Ah, the 31 is who that was. One last view. Nürnberger. This is some good driving right here. Hold on. I'm trying to find Nürnberger. See, when I click a replay, I have to click from the driver who wrecked, and then I have to go find that driver on the ticker before the wreck gets here. There's Nürnberger running 16th right now. Here we go. Oh, a little netcode contact. Otherwise, four-wheel drift. I'm good. The pony lives another day. All right, doubling up from the fourth caution. Can Carrington really do this? I mean, if he gets two more cautions really quickly, we get down to like 5 laps to go. This could really get interesting because with the restarts on these tires, basically, they pretty much reset. So eventually, these tires that the cars are on could kind of even out here. As we come to the green flag, Carrington, Collins, Tooker, Rogers, Burden, Weeks, Fitzsimmons, Trey Holmes, Mike Husby, Josh Dillon, your top 10. As we'll get back to the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Green flag back out as the bots show up again. Goodbye. Collins protecting that bottom side from Tooker. Everybody good through turn 2 into 3 and 4. Here comes Collins putting some pressure on that 9. Oh, hard into the wall goes a 36 of Burden. Cautions, Ibrid cautions. Tyler Burden going for a ride. Let's see how this one goes. Oh, 06 gets in the back. 88 gets in there. Oh, hard in the wall. 22 nowhere to go. And once again, a wreck that I thought was good. Oh, Nurnberger. Look out. And once again, a wreck that looks like is going to be absolutely huge turns into like 3 cars. See, that was one of those where I think Fitzsimmons tries to cross him over. And just wrong place, wrong time. 36 gets turned. Curious. Yes, that's a good thing. I'm rewinding this because I'm curious to know. And it looks like he didn't. Okay. I was curious to see if there was any issues with the 36 and the 06 after that, but there's not. So next week we're off, and then we go to the driver vote track in 2 weeks. I'm curious to see how that's going to go. Zero 06 getting EOL for the yellow. So just taking a look at the standings here. Casey Carrington, obviously, with 0 wins in his career, the owner of the league, looking to maybe finally become the 17th winner in league history. The 45 car, Zach Collins, looking also, I'm looking through his stats. Zach Collins obviously is not yet won himself a race yet. So the top 2 here potentially trying to get their first career win. Obviously, Tooker, Rogers, Weeks, they've all got wins in this series. So how about something else I've looked at here as I'm looking through the Sim Racer Hub stats. Carrington, Rogers, and Silvers tonight making their 43rd career start as they actually... Or I'm sorry, let me back that up a second. Carrington and Silvers making their 42nd. Rogers actually has missed 2 races. So they were the 2 Ironmen, I guess you will, of the league. Now, wait till Sunday. I broadcast a series called Sim 500. It's either Sunday or Monday. But there's actually a driver over there that has made 1,000 starts in their series over there, amongst all their races, leagues and stuff. So, how about that? So, Imagine doing 1,000 starts in a league. Now, that league I'm talking about, they race almost every night. They're, a matter of fact, about to start a race in 45 minutes. But this guy's made 1,000 starts in all those. Yes, 1,000, 1K in that series. That's one, obviously, a credit to that league. And second, a credit to that driver. But, hey, let's get back to this one. Casey Carrington leading this race. Took no tires on a pit stop 20 laps ago. But we've had 3 cautions since then, and he's held the lead. Can he do it for 9 more laps? Tucker going to take second away. And here comes Weeks. Remember the whole top 2 stat thing? He's up to 4th. Holy drink party in the top 5, boys. What's your drink of choice? We got a Monster, we got a Rowdy, we got a Mountain Dew, we got Jim Beam, we got Canada Dry. And Carrington is pulling away a half second. Remember I talked about the recycle of tires here. He might actually have an advantage now with these tires. Could we have the upset at Nashville? Carrington with the fastest lap of the race right there, a 30.61. And he's on 21 lap tires. At least 21 laps, I should say, because that's when they all pitted. All right. As Tucker going to take second away from Collins. And we got trouble. Feskinen with a save. No caution. Brad Delph, I think, might have been involved in that. Also, Garrett Austin. Let's get a quick replay of it. We'll get back to it. Yeah, Garrett Austin, Feskinen get together in the front straightaway here. Watch out, pace car. Everybody kept it straight, kept it green. So here we go. Let's keep going. I'm not going there yet. I'm keeping all the obvious stats out until the final lap here. 0.8 of a second took her. Matthew Weeks up to 3rd. Three laps to go. You think Casey's getting nervous here? Leads down to 0.7. All he's got to do is hit his marks. Down to 0.6. He's got to gain about a half second if he's going to have a shot. He dives it into turn 3. Tucker, that is. As Carrington brings it off 4. Going to see the white flag. Final lap. He made the comment to me before the race. He goes, great, now I've got the pressure of having the broadcaster's jinx on, being the in-race reporter. And I told him right after that, I said, it's only a jinx if you believe it. Down to 0.4 of a second. The boss man has been trying to get that first career win as Tucker sends it into 3, gets loose. The upset at Nashville, his home track. Carrington gets the first career win. What a tire strategy. David Tooker finishes second. Matthew Weeks gets another top 3. All right, so I'm guessing everybody on Discord is going to be messaging me to be the in-race reporter now, right? Is that how this is going to go? Is Casey not a burnout? Casey just came over. I thought about it. There was the idea of, I thought about it, pulling him up into my chat as he celebrated. But apparently Casey screamed really loud and he said he feels like he broke a rib maybe. That's really funny. I mean, the winning call, no tires. On to the grass. And he gets himself a... Well, I don't know if they have the money for a guitar. Maybe a ukulele or something. I appreciate you guys watching. It's all about you guys, man. I'm just having fun. That's all I'm doing. Boss Man's going to burn it down. So Casey Carrington going to go to victory lane. I'm really quickly grabbing my phone and looking something up. As you hear my phone ringer go off for some reason. I posted in iRacing events on Facebook. I'm looking to see... All right, so it wasn't any... I thought it was around this day, but it was not. So, all right, never mind. Let's go take a look at the... Gosh dang it. Go, get out of here. Let's take a look at the final results from the race. Yes, Casey's waiting on me. I was looking to see Casey Kane's last win. It was in July, actually, of 2017. I thought it was around this weekend. But Carrington wins it over David Tooker. Matthew Weeks finishes third. Collins and Zach Rogers finishes fifth. Zach, the dominant driver, not able to go to victory lane tonight. Mike Husby, sixth. Alex Carr gets a top 10. Josh Dillon comes back to eighth on older tires. So that definitely tells me that the more reps they got on those tires, the older tires got better. Trey Holmes, ninth. Garrett McAllister gets a top 10. James Silvers, he was in about 17 wrecks in the 17 car. He finishes 11th. Austin Bloom comes back to 12th. Cash James, 13th. Justin Ray comes back to 14th. Ron White, 15th. Finley Fitzsimmons, 16th. Devin Scroggins gets 17th. Daniel Half gets 18th. A lot of good comeback stories in that little grid right there, I must say. 19th goes to Garrett Austin. Kyle Hall, 20th. Jacob Feskinen, 21st. Greg Carr, Stephen Thompson. Craig Martin, 24th. Nick Terrell, 25th. Tyler Burden, 26th. Nurnberger, 27th. Brad Delft finishing 28th. 29th, Alex Penn. Tyler Whittemore, 30th. Larry Knoll, 31st. Robert Hill Jr., 32nd. William Martin, 33rd. Cody Ricketts, 34th. Brian Lorenzo, 35th. Mike Lemieux, 36th. Mike Schaefer, 37th. And that's it. The 37 cars that finished this Tennessee 200, won by that 9 car. Let's talk to our third place driver. This man is on a heck of a start to a season right here, being in the 11 car. Matthew Weeks almost doing a little David Pearson-like style of not showing up until about the end part of the race here, but here you are, hanging out in the latter part of the top 5 or top 10 most of the race, and you show up and get a top 3 once again, just kind of helping that point lead out.
Yeah, I was like 4th, I think, that first part of the race, and then we had that caution on lap 40, I think, 44, somewhere around there, and then someone spun, and I had to slam on my brake, and I like halfway spun, and I had to just march my way back. It was fun. I really wanted to race Tooker and Zach for it, but all them cautions just played a different role.
You wonder if the reps on the tires played a role, because you look at Casey, he was able to stretch out early in that run to about almost a full second lead, and then you look back at 8th place, you see the 12 was able to come back up a couple positions from the restart. You almost wonder, did the reps on the tires help those two?
Yeah, where we took our 4, they were still kind of cold since we didn't really go green at all, and Casey with them 2 tires, man, congrats to him. What a call, dude. Get his win, man. But that really helped him, really, the cautions. And so we were just stuck trying, and there wasn't enough laps. I think if we had probably 2 more laps, maybe Tooker and I could have raced him for it.
I still got to be obviously pretty proud of that effort, knowing that you've had a top 3 in 3 races.
Yeah, I gave away the championship last season, so my goal was to finish top 5, top 10 every race, and win this championship this season. So,
well, so far so good, man. Congratulations in finishing 3rd tonight. Shout out to whoever you like to, buddy.
All right. Mountain Man Motorsports, bringing me in here. Tooker for a P2, man. That's a good buddy of mine. Good race for him. Congrats to Casey on the win, man. His first win, I think, ever in this league. So good stuff. My uncle, he actually watched tonight, I think. So shout out to you watching, and all my buddies who watched, and JD Designs for making this amazing Mountain Dew car, and everyone else, man. And you up here, man. We wouldn't have the broadcast without you. You do a hell of a job, dude.
Just try my best. But thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Friday night, man, and we'll see you in September at that random track. I think is it Motegi?
We're doing a poll, and I'm telling everybody to vote for Motegi Oval because that's like one of the best tracks to race at.
It is very underrated, but no,
It is.
I was trying to remember who was leading the last time I checked. I think it is Motegi, but I don't know. We'll see. What's the 3rd track? It's let's see, New Smyrna, Motegi,
And something I didn't hear him. He said it in the race chat, but I didn't hear it.
That 3rd track, we'll call it. Nice job tonight, man.
All right, thank you, man. You have a good night.
Hey, you too. Matthew Weeks finishing in the 3rd position. And then David Tooker joins us, finishing 2nd tonight. David, man, I think we could argue that you had the best long-run car tonight in that 83. You and Zach were putting on a great show, and even Collins got up there for a little bit. What were you able to do so different to make your car so good after, say, lap 30 in a run?
I think the biggest thing was just patience. This car is very ill handling, doesn't very handle too well, so we were sliding it coming off the corners, and just rolling the throttle as patient as possible, waiting on the grip to be there, and once you had that, you could pretty much go full throttle. And I think that was the biggest thing, was just rear tire grip and a little bit of front tire grip. I was definitely backing up a little on the entrances compared to Zach Rogers, which I felt like that would help me towards the end, and it definitely did. But no, I definitely felt like we had a top 3, top 2 car, maybe contend for the win if it ran green there at the end, but just not how it went that time.
Yeah, I asked the question to Matthew a second ago. I'll ask you the same question. How much did the restarts, knowing that it was kind of putting cycles on the tires, helping out Casey in the end there and keeping you from getting to him? Because he got out to about 0.8 of a second, and then obviously you could see the difference in tires finally show up.
I definitely felt like the cautions definitely helped out Casey there. Just honestly ran out of laps. The couldn't really get warmth in the tires under caution, and that's what really set us back quite a bit, was just having to get the tires up to temp the first 2 or 3 laps of that last 10-lap run. And by then the gap was just too big to Casey with battling the 45, which he raced me clean all the way to the end, which I respect. It's the end of the race, you got to race, but I definitely felt like if we maybe had one less caution, we could have got there, but unfortunately just ran out of time coming towards the end.
Still a great effort tonight, you and that 83 car. Good points night for you, and shout out to whoever liked you, buddy.
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to Mountain Man Motorsports, especially Robert Hill Jr., my team owner. He brought me in a couple years ago and definitely felt like we had a championship run last year. It just came up one spot short, I think only 13 points, and to come on to this season coming on strong like that, getting us a podium for him. I couldn't ask for a better start to the season, but everybody at Mountain Man Motorsports, everybody at All American ARCA, all of our admins, Johnny Eckert, Joseph Penn, Casey Carrington. There's so many people that help make this thing run as well as it does, and very happy to run with this league and appreciate every driver that's in it, because we all race very clean together. As you saw, we were able to put together 40-50 lap runs. Just sadly couldn't finish out the green flag stop,
Right.
but that's just what happens. But like I said, everybody at All American ARCA, Mountain Man Motorsports, and I also want to thank you, Chris, for what you do up in the booth for us.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it. Not very many people would like to do that. They'd probably be in the race car instead, but I appreciate you doing what you're doing.
No, I appreciate that. And yeah, better than 11 cautions last or 2 seasons ago. So I'd say that's an improvement.
Definitely.
Nice job, man.
Thank you.
You too. David Tooker finishing in the second position. This is going to be interesting. As he's waited for this for a very long time now. I got to be honest with you. I was ready to pull you in the booth on the final lap and just listen. And I was like, man, there's a part of me that's like, do I really want to try this and do I not? And then I hear what you said after the race. And I'm like, I knew I should have pulled him in the booth. Explain what you said out loud on the headset a second ago.
I mean, I'm still reeling from it, man. I nearly cracked a rib there coming off of turn 4. I mean, hell, like what? 43 races of trying, 43 races of varying levels of frustration. I mean, it's just, I mean, I know it's for guys that win here every week, it's not that huge of a deal, but I mean, I've been so close so many times, and to find a way, and to do it the way it happened with I mean, I thought, when you pulled me into the booth with 20 to go or whatever, I thought there was no way I was even going to finish top 3. So, but I took a gamble with the tires, and I had a feeling it was going to get kind of woony there at the end, and it tends to do that, as you've seen the last couple weeks, and yeah, man, it worked out. I don't know how, but it did.
I think back to all those races that obviously running your tribute schemes to like 2006 and 2007ish and stuff like that, the car you're running, but tonight obviously running a Predators paint scheme. But I can't help but think of those years was the years that NASCAR had the kind of harder tire, and Ryan Newman would win so many of these type of races on 2 tires. So you kind of Ryan Newman them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Newman could actually win a pole, but that's another topic. But yeah, I mean, it was just, I ran 10th place or so all night, and just could not figure the line out. I could not. The first run, I tried to save as much as possible, and never really made the time up that I lost early. The second run, I pushed as hard as I could, and then dropped like a rock. I got lucky. I hit the wall in turn 1, and I don't know how I didn't get damage from that. I wouldn't have been able to hold him off there in the last 20 laps or so if I'd had the damage I probably should have. But yeah, I mean, I'd sworn off taking 2 tires for a long time. It was only about, God, I think it was one of the off-season races we did. I took 2 just to test what it felt like, and I don't know if it's something they changed with the physics in an update or what, but you can actually kind of it seems like a few months ago, or at least a year or so ago, you couldn't even turn laps really on 2 tires. It was just so ridiculously loose. But I think that helped me, honestly, here tonight. That's what I was telling Tooker in the waiting room. Is it seemed like there at the end, obviously, he was making time up under braking and on turn in, but with the extra rotation it was giving me, I was able to get back to the throttle earlier and really kind of gap him going down the straightaway. And that was, I mean, he was faster. He was class of the field. I'm sure if this whole thing had went green, it would have been him or Zach. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I held him off there.
Well, and that kind of leads to, I've asked them the question, now we get the other side of it. How the cautions, I even said it on broadcast, I'm like, all right, the more cautions that come out here, I'm thinking this might favor Casey more than the field, because it seemed like those guys obviously were putting cycles on their tires. You were on older tires. It was almost like, maybe this is going to balance this out more. And then you took off to darn near a second lead with 5 laps to go, and I'm like, he's really going to pull this off.
Man, you must have had a better view from outside of the car because I wasn't convinced until I got off of turn 4 on the last lap. Because there about the last 2 or 3 laps, he really started to finally get heat in his right front and I guess the right rear as well. But he was, he finally got his tires heated up and was starting to gap me. And yeah, I mean, had it been maybe even a Talladega type, turn 1 being where the start finish line is essentially, that he might have had me there. I just that was every little bit that I had and left in those virtual. I mean, I guess they're General tires. I was gonna say Goodyear Eagles, but whatever. Virtual rubber. I used pretty much all of it up there in those last, God, what was it, like 4 or 5 restarts.
It was a few, but man, you
Yeah,
you definitely pulled it off though. Man, congratulations. Victory lane finally, as you mentioned, that 43rd start, and so much for that broadcaster jinx you talked about before the race, huh?
No, you're gonna have to interview me every race.
Right? I'm scared now. I'm having a feeling I have 35 messages next week. Like, pull me in, pull me in, pull me in.
Well, just make sure you don't interview Zach, because then the streak will continue. Or Tooker for that matter. You might ought to interview. I don't know. I don't want to put anybody on blast. But
just start
whoever
pulling
joins
bribes.
the session last, we'll put it that way.
There you go. Start pulling bribes or something. Hey, $20. All right, done.
I mean, if you want to interview me too, I'll be available. I'm always here.
Well, great job, man. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Oh God, man, I could be here for 10 minutes. Shout out to, first and foremost, Joseph for helping run the league and doing race control. I mean, it's I won't call it a thankless job because I thank him every time I get interviewed, but it's a tough job that he does voluntarily, and we really appreciate him. Obviously, not everybody always agrees with some of the calls he makes when it concerns them, but I mean, you don't realize how tough it is to do race control until you have to do it and make those decisions and be just essentially the entire kind of master of ceremonies there, when so many people always think that you've kind of got this eye in the sky knowing everything that's going on, when a lot of times the drivers know what's going on track better than somebody watching with the TV cams. But shout out to him, shout out to Kyle, shout out of course to you doing broadcasting, dude. You do a great job. And gosh, shout out Marshall Newton for the cane paints that I've been running this season. I think this is actually kind of like a modified version of it if I remember correctly. But God, I'm sure there's other people. Thanks to everybody that showed up tonight and showed up this season to race. Thanks to everybody that watched on the broadcast. And yeah, that's about it.
Great job, man. Congratulations. Welcome to the win column. You're the, what was it, the 17th winner, I believe it is, in series history. So congratulations on that. I know, side note, it probably feels good to finally win in your own league.
Yeah, I mean, and to win at my home track, it's perfect. I mean, well, before we end here, I do have to admit it's embarrassing, and I wasn't gonna even tell anybody, and assuming that I wasn't gonna win. But now that I did win, I guess I can say it. Tuesday night or something here, I was doing some test laps, and for the first time ever, I actually practiced doing a burnout. Just kind of almost fantasizing, kind of like that scene from Major League, just kind of trying to speak it into existence in case I was able to somehow miraculously pull off a win here at my home track. And I guess I'm gonna have to start practicing burnouts every week, is how it seemed to work.
Well, then, if you're quoting Major League and stuff, I guess we'll leave this interview with a Major League quote. Congratulations, Casey. You got one win. You got one blank win.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's better than none.
Differences. People are listening here, so I can't say it. Anyways, congratulations on the win, bud.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You too. Casey Carrington with the win here tonight. You can't say that on the radio. The heck with it. Nobody's listening anyways. That's the line from Major League, by the way. So, appreciate everybody watching. That was a hell of a race. That was fun. I think that's the first interview so far this season that I've done with this league that's not Mountain Man Motorsports. Not that I don't enjoy talking to them. I just kind of noticed that. So that just is more of a compliment, I guess, to that team. So congratulations to them. And of course, Chat Love. Why would I not give a shout out to the chat? You guys are awesome. Congratulations to Casey on the win. Chat for talking. I think Mr. Hyatt dominated the chats tonight, him and Mr. Dar. Appreciate you guys. More viewers 2 weeks from now. That'd be awesome. And if you guys are around, come to the other races I broadcast. I got one tomorrow afternoon in IndyCar at, where are we at? Fuji. That's a new track. I gotta buy it tomorrow. Got that one. Sunday, we're at, let's see, it's a playoff race. Homestead. So that should be a good one. And then, of course, Daytona Monday night for that the other leagues. So I'm on pretty much every night this weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So as we and enjoy college football too, by the way. We get to do that. So, hey, appreciate everybody watching this evening. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I actually am going to work tomorrow, believe it or not. What's wrong with me? A lot of things. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go enjoy the Xfinity race. I think it's starting, if not already. So, it's Florida, so they'll race till like 4 in the morning. Why not? Remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!